It's now the evening of the 20th of September, so I'm going to show you how my vegetable plot is going along in September. Now, you know our cold frame that I was so pleased with. Remember, we planted some melons in here that were, well, they were just the seeds from a melon. They came up, they done well, but they didn't get any melons, and then we had a cold snap during the week, killed them all dead. So I've pulled them out, but these very late sown peppers that are getting nibbled by some slugs that's in my cold frame, they're doing okay. I picked a green one last week, so I was quite pleased with that, and there's some small ones. There's some more small ones still coming. There we go, look at that. So I think that is a bit of a bonus. So cold frame, yes please, good one. Shut the lid, because I'm told it's going to be cold tonight. Right, and then we come on round. Remember, this was the patch that had our garlic in and broad beans at one end early in the year. They came out. We've sowed some very late carrots, and they're coming good, and I've been pulling those. Then I've put in some cauliflowers, and they're ready for April next year. And there's a pak choy doing very nicely, and another small one alongside. We pulled one pak choy last week, which you would see on the harvest of August. Then our leeks are a total disaster. I'm really not sure why, but if we've got any experts out there that can that can put me wise, I'm up for that. Parsnips are really good, so I've pulled a couple of those and eaten them, and the spinach is good, even though it's been nibbled by snails, but well, they got to have their dinner as well, I suppose. And then we come on round, the sprouts are looking good. They were being eaten by snails, but I went through them, I groomed them, I took all the snails out of them, and now the tops are wholesome and whole without holes in them. Moving on, there's our sprouts from a different angle. There's our strawberry bread. These are the strawberries that should produce next year, and that couple of rows there, 3 rows there, they're the ones that produce. This year was their second, so next year's their third and last year, and I've got to cut the tops off of those as soon as I can. Then we come along to our, I'm going to go a bit closer to the marrows, because without making you dizzy, because I'm so pleased the way these have turned out. They were put in very late because the other ones got eaten off, and there we go. Let's see if we can go in there. Gently Bentley, gently Bentley. There we go, nice look at those lovely marrows, coming on good, eh? So I'm very pleased with that. Whilst we're here by the marrow bed, we can have a closer look at the tomatoes. The tomatoes had blight, but it seemed like it cured itself. I was worried it had come back, but in actual fact, I've got some really nice tomatoes, and I've been picking a few as well. So don't ask me how it cures itself. I mean, I did spray with Bordeaux, which was against my normal better principles, but I can't imagine one spraying would have done it. But we did have quite a lot of sea air, saltwater air coming over. Whilst we're here by the grapevines, I can just pan round and show you the grapevines. There's very few grapes on them, even though I'm trying to keep the birds off with me scary things. So we'll go around the end now and look at it from the other end. Thought you might have a quick look at my my hawk. Scary, isn't it? Not scaring them seagulls though. Right, back on the path where I normally show you from here, because so that you can see how things are going from the same view. We'll come in, I'll just show you a few grapes. See how patchy they are? They are there, they're good grapes, they're quite sweet, so they're not too bad. And oh, there's my minder there, look. I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl, but that's the best I can do with my artistic talents. And as you can see, this grapevine here has got some boats, and they're actually quite big for wine grapes. Let me see if I can show you in comparison with my fingernail. So they are quite big, but that's probably because there's less grapes on. Remember our potato bin? Well, that's now looking quite sad, but of course they were put in January, and there's another one coming up there, look. I'm guessing that they're the ones that have already died back, and they've sent out some new shoots. That was me potatoes in the bath, and then it became cucumbers in the bath. The cold snap killed them off dead. I picked all the cucumbers. There were 6 cucumbers on there, and now I'm emptying that bath, and I'm spreading the soil, because that was a mixture of seaweed and soil, and I'm spreading that onto the asparagus bed, because I want to build the asparagus bed up. There's our other dessert grapes. They're a little bit scratchy, and of course we've got our minder. There he is. We call him Owl because he's got his owl clothes on. We could do with 8 them kind of jokes. And then there's of course our really lovely sunflowers. Love sunflowers. Right, moving along. There's remember the strawberries in the path. They're all beginning to grow again. In fact, I picked a strawberry earlier and ate it. It probably thinks it's spring. Then we've got our row of beetroot. We're continually getting beetroot from them. And there's a half a dozen there still that can be pulled. Quite pleased with. The row of beetroot that I was boasting that I planted late, which is that row under the wire over there, then they seem to have stopped. But never mind, we'll leave them on. Moving on. There's that other row of beetroot that I put in quite late. I think they went in probably end of July, I think. You have to look back at the August one. They're okay. They got little tiny beetroot on. 3 or 4 weeks, if we get a little bit of rain, bit of sunshine, it'd be good. That pile there is actually bull's. I suppose I'll best call it bull's poo. Don't want to call it what the average builder would call it. Coming along to my courgettes, they are still producing courgettes, so I'm quite pleased there that's going. Oh, they're going. They didn't seem to have got affected by the cold. Then the pumpkins, as you can see, they're doing really nicely. I've picked a few and stored them, and my 3 sisters are doing well, except for because the corn didn't grow as big as they should have. The French climbing beans have climbed up them, and they're too heavy and the corn's bent over. But I'm getting beans, who cares? We come along to our Cape gooseberries. They're doing very nicely. I've been picking those and eating them. Pond is like most ponds, the lily's beginning to die back a little bit now. And the final grapevine, this one, of course, it's like a little sun trap here, and this one is doing very well. That's the Cabernet. The other one is a Merlot. That is doing very nicely. So I'm going to get some red grapes off of that, and then of course our apple tree is absolutely loaded with nice looking apples. Some of them have been pecked, but not too bad otherwise. The squash plant suffered with that cold snap, so I'm about to pick all the squash now and take them into storage. They're all showing signs of being ripe in any case, and there's quite a few. I think I had half a dozen plants, and it's looking like I'm going to get about a dozen decent looking squash. There's a few late sweet corn there. Be surprised if they turn into anything. For some reason they just didn't grow big. I don't know why that was. So there we go for September. All the potatoes that was along the back, I tipped all of those out. Bit disappointing, but I had about £1 to £2 of potatoes in each bucket. One last look at them lovely grapes, because they're going to get picked fairly soon. Oh, and one last look at another scary crow. Where is he? Oh, there he goes. Look at that. That would scare anybody, wouldn't it? Looks like he could do with something to eat. Looks a bit scrawny. So that's our allotment. Sunflowers are good. I'm going to collect all the seeds for bird table. So run on rain. Look at the whole thing. There's all them lovely sunflowers again. So there we go. September it always starts to look a bit scrawny. October it'll even look even more scrawnier. But we'll see you in October. And of course I shall see you when I do a harvest video when I've picked a few things. Okay, bye.